Welcome, YouTubers, to another Monster Strike episode review. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about episode 4, A Night at the Museum. For the last episode that we left off, where Rand was apparently taken to like a backstage, like chicken fight, as you can say, for the monster hunters or these Monster Strike, enthusiasts. You can clearly see that these people are literally doing something illegal because the this mall is closed. Yes, and yeah, all these guys are like having illegal fights, as you could say. I'm kind of liking the themes they're going with this. Like I said before, now this is pretty funny. I'm liking the little humor that this episode kind of gives off. The little vibe it gives off. It's giving it a high tech security place, and you're just wondering like, holy snap, has no one doesn't hear this giant monsters fighting in the middle of the night in the mall. I'm pretty sure that the way that they represent these monsters, they're like these are like at least 2 floors tall, and I'm like thinking like, no one around the neighborhood is not hearing these creatures. It's an empty mall, so it's kind of echoing inside itself. I kind of found that personally funny in this episode. I'm just like here thinking like, man, I'm just wondering like this whole town must be knocked out when it's literally at night. Now that is funny, but enough jokes aside. Let's continue on to the episode. What it actually was. When this episode, it was actually really immensely talking about how Mizusawa was actually talking about the 4D AR, and it's the virtual reality that actually implements in using these the Monster Strike like contest. You could say it's almost like the Yu-Gi-Oh version of the gauntlets that they use in their arms. It's sort of similar to that, except that it's used on the Android phone, like they were mostly showcasing it. Of course, Ren didn't really quite understand that in a sense. Of course, as viewers, while we're hearing this, we're like, oh, okay, that it actually made sense when she was talking about that. It's just that Oregon was the only one that doesn't really make sense because the 4D does give it artificial intelligence, but Oregon has a mind of its own. Since all these other creatures apparently they just growl and gutter and they just look amazing. And I like the fact in the beginning of the episode they actually showcase like 3 creatures, if I remember correctly, like the red dragon that's used in the promos of the games and everything. They showcase that. It looked pretty sick too, by the way. I feel like they used the whole entire budget in making this episode was in that first like 2 minutes of the episode when the creatures were actually like fighting. And I like the fact also in that little fight in the beginning is the fact that they actually showcase another aspect of the game itself, and it's the bump combos. Apparently, in the game, what you can do is that if you have two creatures out in the playing field, and one of them actually hits the other your actually one of your people on your side, it actually like ricochets and does double the damage if I'm remembering correctly, or like it's a strong it's like a combo attack, and it comes back stronger, and that's how they kind of showcase in defeating the dragon that was actually there, these players are actually fighting against, and that's what I like, the fact that that this anime is actually showcasing and kind of selling. To me, it's actually kind of selling because I kind of want to buy this game, to be honest, and or download it for the Android game, because the way they kind of showcasing like the aspect of it is literally like a pool table, and they're just like bouncing off each other and hitting each other. Like it's like I said before, it's like a Beyblade game, and right there in itself, it's just the creatures just like literally bouncing back and forth. And I'm guessing whenever you last one stands wins from the looks of it too, because the creature had HP and he was dropped down like with the bump combo as well. I like the fact about that little episode was that first episode, but also there was some actually speculations also speaking in the episode, and it was in the beginning of the episode that kind of raised questions as well. Now I'm gonna go into that a little bit because the fact that when they entered, the Mizusawa and Ren were actually showcased like someone was watching them. Someone was actually watching them. It was like some kind of like I would say an older guy. I'm assuming in charge of the Monster Colosseum. That's what they call it in the Middle Night. It's the Monster Colosseum. And you're here wondering what is it? He seems like he's not either a bad guy or he's just another, I would say, manager, you could say, or because the thing is, when you look at the villains in this entire series, they all happen to be like possessed. This character wasn't really possessed. More of the case as like he was overlooking people in these days. Like I said, this guy could be another important player in the series because they actually showcased him, and they actually had an eye on Ren himself, and the little screen even said that he was new, like as if like Like holy snap, man! Like this is like state of the art technology. Like holy snap, that they can pinpoint who is here. Like I said before, man, like this is like some like state of the art illegal cockfights down down at this mall wherever they're living at, man. That is some intense stuff. But like I said, as the episode continues on, we actually get to see more of the how do I say Mizusawa's past, and she talks about how there are 4 people that have to be actually played in Monster Strike. Like I said before, they're showcasing it again, and it was Akira, Kagetsuki, and Minami Wakaba, and Hamura, if I remember correctly, that were part of Mizusawa's a Monster Strike team, and they were like apparently like having fun and everything, and then apparently they all split up or have done their own thing. Now I'm kind of laughing at the fact like they try to make that little scene sad, but when I looked at it, I'm just like, maybe these guys just had something important in their life. Maybe Akira, he was just he had to go to school, or maybe Minami was maybe like she had to get a part-time job and she couldn't play anymore, but she kept her skills back at home, But they didn't really kind of showcase why they kind of left. They just all kind of separated. Probably has to do with something with Ren or the main character as well. They're just giving little teases like in itself in this little speculation that we can go on. But the episode was pretty intense because at the end of the episode it kind of showcases the fact that they're trying to find a shortcut to go somewhere else, and then now Ren is actually now he has to fight 4 enemies. Now I'm confused. He's gonna have to fight 4 enemies at once. Do you have? I don't play the game as much, but I'm confused as to the fact that are you able to fight 4 players at once against 1 player, or does it have to be 4 on 4 or 2 on 2? I'm like kind of like a I would say a single-handed players, like how they would fight. Is it a team matchup? Like, could it be 4 against 2? Like, could it be like that? That's what I'm kind of curious, because I mean I never played the game myself, but just that the anime episode didn't quite entitle us to that. They're just saying that it has to be 4 on 4, but apparently there's 4 people attacking Ren in this episode, and I quite didn't understand that, and that's just kind of leaving us into speculations right there, But like I said, the episode was pretty intense, My thoughts on it is that I think in the next episode, they what's it called? The Akira and Minami are gonna probably pop out of nowhere with a Deus Ex Machina kind of stereotype and just be like, oh, we just happened to be in a neighborhood and we just saw that they were following you guys. That's what I personally think that's gonna happen in the next episode, because we're like out of nowhere, these guys just come out of nowhere and just they're the villains. And like I said before, remember the shadowy figure that's like possessing these people? It's back here again. So we're getting small hints where these creatures are. It's slowly hinting us that there's something more at play here as well. Because we don't even know what enemy Ren is fighting right now so far. I don't understand that too. Like, what enemy is he fighting that he's up against? It's like it's so far in episode 4 and there's a vague hint at what the enemy is, or what his motive is, or why he's trying to go after Ren. That's what I kind of don't understand. But I'll leave that thoughts and speculation to you guys. What would you guys think about the episode? And what do you guys think about the little fight that was in the beginning of the episode? Because I thought that was pretty cool right there in a sense, showing the bump combo right there. I feel like that was like the best scene out of the whole entire series right there. It was pretty cool. But can't wait for episode 5, because that's going to be the next episode. And if you guys enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe. But this is Mr. Zen, signing out.